Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome and thank you for joining us on this beautiful sunny morning in Sydney. My name is Toby Long and I'm Mirvac's General Manager of Residential Development in New South Wales. But before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional owners of the land on which we will build the Frederick at Green Square. And I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. One thing you're going to hear time and again in this presentation is the experience of our team, not only in the industry but at Mirvac. So I've been in the design and construction industry since 1989 and I've been with Mirvac for the last 24 years. We're delighted that so many have dialed in this morning, and it just goes to show what happens when an exceptional building in an exceptional location comes along, and we believe the Frederick is that building. But first, a quick word about how we've lined up today's information seminar. You're going to hear from four of our team members who have brought our vision for the Frederick to life. William Smart of Smart Design Studio, and we've collaborated with William several times in the past on Maxwell Place at Harold Park and Moreton at Bondi. But we think that the Frederick promises to be our most spectacular joint effort yet. You'll hear from Lisa James, our Mirvac's lead interior designer, who's produced the elegant interiors for Portman on the Park and Portman House at Green Square, and she's dialed up the luxury several notches for the Frederick. We'll hear from Zach Hart, who's our National Operations Manager from Mirvac Construction, and last but not least, Kathy Arici, who's Mirvac's National Sales Director. Many of you submitted questions during the registration process, and we've tried to incorporate responses to several of those in today's presentation. But at the end, there will be time in the Q&A to actually cover off any additional questions. I'm going to have more to say about Green Square, the precinct, but first let me share with you a little insight into our vision for the Frederick.
The thing that makes the Frederick truly unique is that the project team, the design team, have pushed every element of this building to really create something that is very special for residents and really be the centrepiece of the Green Square Town Centre.
The Frederick's been conceived as a luxury building, so from the outside it's how we've married quality detailing with quality materials and a simple classic form.
For the finishes that's for Frederick, it's kind of unique to other projects is the quality of material selection. We have durability, we have the luxurious materials that we can provide.
From the very early days of our visioning for the Frederick was to create something truly unique, something that sets a new benchmark in design excellence. The building will be, without question, beautiful in every sense.
The shape of the building is really aligned to the shape of the site. In a way, it's like a triangle with rounded corners. We wanted these rounded corners to soften the shape of the building, but also to marry the internal architecture with the exterior. From each corner of the building, get a 270-degree view of the surroundings. We're really looking to create the experience of being in a five-star luxury hotel, and that's supported by the amenity that's on offer. There is a wellness centre within the building, there's a co-working space, there's a club room, and there's also a private park space which is shared with the other buildings within that particular site.
I think one of the things that we really wanted to create with the Frederick was that sense of coming home, that sense of arrival, that feeling that you get when you walk into a boutique, bespoke, luxury hotel, that sense of coming home to something really special.
So Mirvac has had a deep involvement at Green Square since 2012 when we began working with Landcom, mapping out a master plan for this exciting new town centre, which is actually the first to be built by the City of Sydney in more than a century. Having been involved with Green Square for a number of years, the real change that I've seen at Green Square has been that vibrancy and the community feel that has developed. We don't take our responsibility to deliver a town centre very lightly here at Mirvac. We've already delivered Ebsworth and Ovo with more than 450 apartments. We've launched Portman on the Park and Portman House, and now we're ready to present the Frederick. With a mission to live local and think global, not everybody in the early years could see how our vision for a future new neighbourhood would evolve. But we've actually reached that aha moment when people now get it. All our efforts in planning, design and placemaking are there to see and experience. People who live in the town centre, they do their shopping there, they walk to the train, they pick up a coffee, they sit down with friends for a meal and feel a real deep sense of ownership, belonging and town pride. And frankly, who wouldn't? Green Square's residents and the future residents of the Frederick have the best amenity, infrastructure and lifestyle right on their doorsteps. We couldn't be more proud that Green Square has been recognised with a 6-star Green Star community rating. And the promise of that infrastructure and amenity has actually already been delivered in a number of the buildings and community spaces we see in the precinct. There's the award-winning library, which is a place that is much as a town hall for community and social gatherings as it is for reading books. There's the Joynton Avenue Creative Centre and, of course, Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre. So these are all thriving community assets already. Then there's the Drying Green, which is actually opposite the Frederick, and it's on schedule for completion early next year. And, of course, the innovative new public school, which is another demonstration of a radically different approach to urban planning at Green Square. And then the shops and restaurants. Many are up and running already, and many more are to come, which will create a great boutique but bustling high street. Our task at Green Square has been to think about what it is that makes a place, somewhere that people want to be, but we've also thought about the health and community and the social impacts of what we design and build. Like Portman and Portman on the Park, the Frederick has been designed and built to achieve WELL 2 certification, which is a first for Australia in a residential building. And to put it simply, the Frederick is focused on residents' health and wellbeing. Some key design aspects include maximising the natural light and ventilation with extra provision for clean filtered water. Green Square is possibly the most significant example of urban renewal in Australia today. And Mirvac is one of only a few companies in Australia with the capability and the capacity to undertake urban renewal on the scale of Green Square. We're an AS-listed company with a history of reimagining urban life that spans 49 years. And if you think about some of the places that Sydney loves best, many bear the Mirvac signature. Harold Park, where the former Paceway is now an immensely successful residential community, and the old tram sheds has been adapted to become one of the most popular dining destinations. There's Walsh Bay, a multi-award-winning redevelopment of the harbour, where new homes and retail intermingle with our premier arts and cultural institutions. And Newington, designed and built by Mirvac to accommodate athletes for the 2000 Olympic Games, and then adapted into a model neighbourhood. Much of the team, including myself, were involved in creating all these great places. Mirvac's integrated business model with expertise in design, development, construction, marketing and sales all under one roof enables us to take on large city-defining projects such as Green Square, and often partnering with the government or their agency. Trust in Mirvac's capability and integrity is key to such partnerships. And it is trust that is equally critical to the relationships we have with our customers. Mirvac enjoys an unrivaled reputation for quality design and construction. Over the last number of years, we've won over 700 industry awards, but one of the most telling statistics is our high number of repeat customers. These loyal customers understand what we mean by the Mirvac difference. So I'll now hand over to William Smart, who'll take you through the amazing architectural vision for the Frederick. Thanks, William.
Thank you, Toby. Hi, everyone. I'm William Smart, the founder and creative director of Smart Design Studio. And for those of you who don't know, Smart Design Studio is a multidisciplinary practice. We work across a wide range of projects, from multi-residential projects like the Frederick to commercial buildings such as the Rock or single homes like Indigo Slam. All of our buildings are linked by the same philosophy, and that is architecture from the inside out. We're proud that many of our projects have been recognised by extensive media coverage and awards. In fact, our new studio has received a total of 11 awards to date. And Smart Design Studio this year won the Design Studio Award in this year's Indie Awards. We've collaborated with Mirvac several times in the past, as Toby's mentioned, and some more recent projects include Maxwell at Harold Park and the Moreton at Bondi. And we really enjoyed working with them on the Frederick, which has evolved into a 23-storey tower. Fronting the drying green, it creates a powerful gesture at the entrance to the town centre. And the plan evolved from an unusually shaped site at the junction of two streets. The tower is punctuated by tall corner slots, with each facade wrapping around the corner and tucking into the next elevation. And on the upper levels, the parapet walls point towards the sky, creating a striking silhouette. A continuous facade in bronze, aluminium and glass envelops the whole tower, accentuating its subtle folding design and interlocking forms that hover above a base of strong terrazzo columns. And at the street level, the tower's terrazzo base provides solidity and a familiar human scale to the Zetland Avenue retail offering and the new laneway. And above the new awning, there are opaque glass panels and a glass facade with bronze louvers that contribute to privacy for the apartments on the lower levels. Horizontal and vertical shading elements with fritted glass spandrels and bands of glass articulate the tower. And this, combined with vertical fins, allows access to views whilst maintaining solar control and privacy. The Frederick has been designed to take advantage of its unusual footprint on the site, and this has created opportunities to incorporate 3 corner apartments with semicircular ends, offering panoramic views. This also allowed a diversity of apartment types with plans that suit different buyers. The apartments also benefit from generous wide living spaces and straight walls for ease of furnishing and decoration, and they're designed with circulation, functionality, and openness in mind. Sustainability was also a key consideration, and the Frederick's been designed to enjoy thermal comfort, and it also uses durable materials. There are high levels of solar access throughout, and the vertical and horizontal sun control and double glazing ensures that it's cool in summer and warm in winter. The building's been designed to maximise cross-ventilation. The foyer to Frederick combines high volumes with confident forms to emphasise the sense of arrival to the building. The foyer is the place for residents and their guests to transition, to wait, and to sit and enjoy, much like the lobby of a high-end hotel. Custom-designed lighting piece in the corner acts as a veil and a corner lantern and creates a sense of desire and intrigue from the outside and drama from the inside. We wanted to exceed expectations with the way this space feels, so routed stone panelling, textured render, metal detailing and concealed lighting, together with carefully selected furniture and artwork, all contribute to making this possible. Thank you for your time today, and I'd like to hand over to Lisa James from Mirvac, who has designed the interiors of the project.
Thank you, William. Good morning, all. I'm Lisa James, and I've been with Mirvac Design for many years. I've really enjoyed working on some beautiful buildings, most recently in the interiors for Portman on the Park and Portman House at Green Square. So working with the team on the interior design for this building, though, has been an absolute highlight. William and his team work closely with Mirvac Design to refine the design with the benefit of our deep insights into how our customers live and what they like and value. The result is beautiful spaces waiting for the finishing touches that turn a space into a home, or in the case of the Frederick, a sumptuous hotel luxe experience. When we started thinking about the idea of luxury, we began by thinking about what actually is luxury. So by definition, luxury means conducive to sumptuous living, usually a delicacy, elegance, or refinement of living. So refinement of living, what would refine the experience of living in this beautiful building? Well, we think that's by incorporating natural elements within the interiors. As humans, we have an innate biological connection to nature. It's why a walk on the beach is soothing and why light is stimulating. So nature makes us feel better. So we wanted to incorporate that natural element into every aspect of the design. Incorporating the curvy patterns or fractals found in nature into the planning. It's imagining how people move through the space, the mind-body connection to experiencing space, enhancing how spaces are experienced and moved through. Well, that's luxury. So with this idea of incorporating nature's curves, patterns, textures, and light, we design the interior spaces. So arriving at your apartment entry through a softly lit corridor, you open the door and you step into a light-filled home with views that open out before you. Curved joinery elements as you enter are like welcome points, giving you the opportunity to personalize your space. So that's sort of like a transition space between the outside world and your home. As you progress through the apartment, gentle curves and textured finishes are soft, inviting, and luxurious, creating the feeling, emotion, and sensory experience of a luxury hotel. It's important that the kitchen is part of the open living space, beautiful in its own right, without overwhelming the space. We have 2 finishes palettes for this building. One's inspired by the start of the day, the early light, the soft golden glow. The second is a darker, moodier palette, reflecting the evening, the lights over the city, the trees at night. We've incorporated accents within the joinery elements such as brass detailing, door hardware, and tapware to make the elements that you touch to open just that little bit more sumptuous and grand. These are the luxury touches to every apartment, not just an upgrade. Taking the idea of nature's curves and forms through the joinery, we've selected and crafted natural elements like fluted timberlook battens and fluted natural stone, their form and materiality reflecting nature. In the case of the fluted stone details, these are crafted from natural stone, carved from large blocks of stone. We've played with the idea of refracted light, using fluted glass to some of those entry joinery pieces that I mentioned previously, but also to everyday elements like pantry doors, bringing that texture and light into the everyday. We spend a whole lot of time refining the placement of appliances, sinks and waste bins and all those important elements of kitchens to ensure that we're creating spaces that are easy to use and practical, while also being a beautiful piece of furniture in your apartment. We select appliances, tapware and accessories that are high quality and enduring. So with the bathroom, entering into those bathroom spaces, we've brought through that idea of luxury by creating almost a day spa vibe. A natural fluted marble is the backdrop to a perfectly circular mirrored cabinet. Again, the tapware and accessories are finished in brass. The floors and walls are finished in a tile that mimics natural stone, and they're in soft hues. You can choose to switch on the overhead lights to mimic daylight, or to just switch on the indirect lighting, which we've recessed into joinery and pelmets to create a soft glow in the evenings. We've planned living areas to allow them to be easily furnished and personalised into your own space, locating power points in useful locations and allowing easy access to balconies. The finishes in this spaces include a soft light grey tile in the early light scheme and a mid-stony grey in the dusk scheme. The walls are painted in a soft off-white, providing a backdrop for your own furniture. There's an option in both schemes to include timber floorboards throughout these areas. Both European oak boards, a light limed oak look in the lighter scheme, and a beautiful French grey in the darker scheme. And you can choose to have these either laid in planked or in herringbone format. In the bedrooms, we've carried through that idea of natural form. Even the wardrobes have recessed finger pull details that incorporate a curved detail. The wool blend carpet options are either cut pile or loop pile, and the lighting is soft and considered. In the lighting upgrade, there's an option to dim your lights, however, not only dim the intensity, but also the colour temperature. So you can actually choose to enhance your spaces with cool white light for the middle of the day and a soft, warmer light in the evenings, tuning to your own natural body clock. So that's the nature-inspired private spaces for the internal apartments. Now to the building's common areas. I think the term used is elevated living, and we mean it. On the top 23rd floor, there's the Sky Lounge. The atmosphere and vibe of this space is like stepping into a private club lounge. There's a dramatic, long, feature-clad bar with mirrored walls and soft lighting and amazing views. There's more private space for quiet dinner parties, still with the same amazing view, suede upholstered walls and beautiful furniture with soft lighting. Down at street level, a business studio offers a very sophisticated co-working space with meeting rooms, bookable workspaces and breakout spaces. For those working from home occasionally or full-time, the business lounge is a wonderful bonus. And alongside that is the wellness studio, with a gym and exercise studio. So we'd like to enhance the lives of our residents within their apartments and within these additional areas, mind, body and spirit. Thanks very much for the opportunity to present the Frederick to you today. These are very special residences, and it's been a pleasure for our team to work on this project. I'm happy to answer any further questions at the end of the seminar, and I'll now hand over to Zach Hart, our National Construction Manager.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. My name is Zach Hart, and I'm the National Operations Manager for Mirvac Construction. I want to go straight to the subject that should be the most important consideration for every prospective buyer: construction quality. At the Frederick, you will be buying off the plan, and that is a decision that involves a high level of trust. You need to trust the developer, and you need to trust the builder. At Mirvac, we enjoy an incredibly high level of customer loyalty, which has been built on trust. Typically, more than 30% of buyers in our new projects have bought Mirvac previously. I personally have been at Mirvac for over 20 years, and in that time have been involved in the construction of projects such as Pacific Place at Chatswood, Harold Park, Green Square, St Leonard's Square, and the Yarra's Edge precinct in Melbourne. Over that time, the thing that has been ingrained in me is the 4 pillars on which Mirvac's reputation has been built. We test and retest our products, materials and layouts until we are 100% satisfied. We listen and learn from our customers. We strive always to design and build better, and we support our customers until long after the sale is complete. At least 70% of the value in any built structure lies out of sight, be it behind the wall, under the floor, placing the onus on the builder and the developer to do the right thing when nobody is looking. We do not outsource our obligations or responsibilities. Quality doesn't happen by accident, and reputations are not built overnight. We have always been extremely vigilant in the processes that are an essential part of construction. We have an industry-leading quality assurance plan that all of our staff are trained in. Our team carry out a rigorous screening process before engaging subcontractors, including reviewing their past experience, their level of quality, and ability to perform the job. We also hold regular construction reviews, which not only look at safety in design, but also at functionality and the end use. The core construction team, Pauline, Adam Sutherland, Matt Stevenson, Chris Needham, Dan Corrie, John Tasudis on the Frederick, has had more than 90 years of combined experience with Mirvac. And they've already been putting all that knowledge and experience to work. Construction of the Frederick is well underway, and just last week we completed the first level of the lift core structure, and we are well on track for completion in 2023. Of course, the true test lies in how well our buildings perform many, many years after they have been built. There are hundreds that I could point to, but I'll confine myself to a few trailblazers that attest to the Mirvac legacy of quality construction. Quay Grand at Circular Quay, built in the 90s, and also defying its age to be sought after as ever. Raleigh Park in Kensington, the first community title estate in New South Wales, developed by Mirvac in the 90s. With its luxury finishes, timeless design and high level of amenity, properties continue to be in high demand, fetching many times of their original sales price. I'll leave the sales talk to my colleague Kathy Arici, but my point is that there is a real dollar value attached to quality in construction. Our reputation depends on delivering quality every time, and we have every intention of adding the Frederick to our honour roll of Mirvac Legacy projects. Thank you, and I'll now hand you over to our National Sales Director, Kathy Arici.
Thanks so much, Zach. So Zach and I both started working at Mirvac over 20 years ago in 2001, and we have crossed paths on many projects, including Green Square. And it's having people like Zach with his absolute dedication to his craft and the Mirvac legacy that makes the job of the Mirvac sales and customer relationship teams that little bit easier. Just as Mirvac does things a little differently in the design and construction, we are also different in the way we look after our customers. We believe that our responsibility to our customers continues long after the sales contract has been signed. We're with you throughout the construction period to settlement and beyond, making sure your experience with Mirvac is seamless and special. The Mirvac brand has an enduring value that has stood the test of time, and Zach mentioned a few of our legacy buildings. But there are many more that we built as a young company that are still being advertised as Mirvac designed and built by owners and agents who recognise the value of our name. And it makes us incredibly proud to see properties advertised as flagship Mirvac design buildings. That is a legacy we are more than happy to own. Our sales consultants work exclusively for Mirvac, and that is a fundamental difference. If you have questions about the design, buying off the plan, or any aspect of the development, our internal team of experts can provide the answers. This seminar was designed to give you a broad overview of the project, and as you have seen, these residences bring Hotel Luxe home in a way that is elegant, sophisticated, and practical. We will be releasing 151 1, 2, and 3 bedroom luxury residences and penthouses in a wide range of sizes with different aspects, different layouts, many of which have truly spectacular views. I've been involved in property, in the number of property transactions over the years, and I like to think I have a good grasp of what makes a sound property purchase. So some of the attributes of the Frederick that really stand out for me as a property buyer are the amazing panoramic views from many of the apartments, whether it's to the Sydney CBD, the Drying Green, or Botany Bay. The location, opposite the Drying Green and just minutes from the CBD and some of the great shopping and dining strips. The design. I can't think of a better pairing than William Smart, an internationally acclaimed architect, and Mirvac design. The sense of hotel luxury, an indulgence you can experience at the Frederick every day of the year. All the amenity within easy walking distance, the library, the aquatic centre, the creative arts centre, the school, with more parks and more retail to come. And last but certainly not least, the Mirvac difference, your guarantee of quality in every little detail. So at our stunning display gallery, you'll be able to view the model of the Frederick and immerse yourself in the height of luxury. We have recreated a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom, living and dining area, so you'll be able to see, touch and feel the finishes. It's really the best way to gain a complete picture of our vision for the Frederick and the hotel luxury lifestyle that awaits. I would now like to outline the next steps to secure a residence at the Frederick. This afternoon, around 3 o'clock, you'll receive an email inviting you to make an appointment at our display gallery. They will start from the 3rd of November, and then on the 26th of November, the register to purchase will open. To validate your registration to purchase, you will be required to lodge a $5,000 fully refundable deposit. At this stage, we have penciled in December 4th and 5th to begin selling. Now, this might sound like a lot of information to take in, but please don't be concerned. We'll send you a written guide to the entire process in the coming weeks. For now, the main date to remember is today, when you will receive an invitation to book an appointment to meet with one of our consultants. To make sure that you and our sales team remain safe at all times, the appointment and sales process will take account of the current COVID regulations. Under New South Wales public health orders, we are permitted one person per 4 square metres within the display gallery, provided visitors have had 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. We will need to cite proof of vaccination before we can allow access into the display gallery. Our sales consultants are also required to meet government guidelines for vaccination. You will need to wear a mask while you're in the gallery and check in using the QR code on arrival. If you are not fully vaccinated, we can arrange a virtual appointment and tour. Now, before we move on to the questions that you submitted, I will take a moment to remind you of the benefits of buying off the plan with Mirvac. The property is brand new. You get a wide choice of finishes and upgrades. The building is covered by a warranty period. There is price certainty. You get extra time to save and plan. But most important of all, you are dealing with a trusted developer and builder. Thank you so much for attending the Frederick Information Seminar. There will be plenty of opportunities for you to have a more in-depth conversation when you speak to your Mirvac sales consultant. And I'm now going to hand back to Toby to review some of the questions we received.
Thanks, Kathy. This is the exciting part, I think, of today's seminar is really trying to give you an indication of the passion we have for this project and how do we actually answer some of those burning questions you have. So, Zach, the first question that's come through is actually for you, and we may have answered some of these through the presentation, so forgive us if we're repeating ourselves, but it really does put a full stop in some of the questions. So, what is the estimated completion date, Zach?
Yeah, thank you, Toby. Look, we're well advanced in construction and we expect completion in mid-2023.
Great. And forgive us if we're a little bit jittery here. On this virtual kind of platform, it's quite difficult to get that seamless linking going. William, the next question is from somebody for you, and it is, will Smart Design Studios continue to be involved throughout the project?
Yeah, Smart Design Studio have been heavily involved with the design, development and the documentation of the project, and will continue during the construction process to ensure that the architectural vision is carried through to completion. This is our third collaboration with Mirvac, and we have a great relationship, have produced some spectacular buildings with them.
Thanks, William. Yeah, and we look forward to continuing that collaboration quite strongly. Lisa, the next question is around three-bedroom product, and I'll ask you this. What aspects will the three-bedroom have, and what levels will they be located on?
Okay, so there are three-bedroom, also one and two-bedroom apartments with stunning vistas in each direction, north, south, east and west. So the beauty of this building is that many of our apartments have views of the CBD to the north, eastern skyline to the east, the new drying green park and district views to Botany Bay to the south and west. And you'll have noticed that several of our corner apartments have immense windows that offer 270-degree views, and these will enjoy obviously multiple aspects. We have a three-bedroom apartment on level 2 as well, which is appealing for those who like to feel more grounded, as well as a selection of three-bedroom apartments from levels 11 to 21. Our penthouse collection is on level 22 and 23, with some of those over 2 levels.
Thanks, Liz. We've actually got a very detailed question here, Zach, and one I'm sure we've been talking about this type of thing for a number of years. But the question's this: will there be a flush threshold from corridors to bathrooms and living rooms to balconies?
Yeah, Toby, good question. The threshold detail is considered to be virtually flush. It's a detail that our customers really appreciate and see the value in, and it's an important feature of connecting the indoors and the outdoors. So yes, good question.
Yeah, that's a good one. And Kath, this is the first one for you, so a little bit into the detail on purchasing. Will there be an opportunity to customise my apartment, is the question.
Yes, there is the capacity to customise your apartment, including selecting between our 2 colour schemes and choice of carpet. There are also an array of upgrades to the kitchen, bathroom, living and bedrooms. I think Lisa outlined some of these upgrades available, but when you book the appointment with the sales consultant, you'll have a chance to see the many upgrades and options which will really allow you to personalise your home.
Great. The next one I think I'll answer. So it's we've answered some of this through the prezzo, but I'll read the question out. It's, have sustainability and environmental features been embedded into the design? I think I'll lead off with that as kind of an umbrella statement, is that Mirvac's principles of this changes everything with commitments to sustainability over a number of years is paramount to that. And in particular with the Frederick, and as I outlined before, we've actually, this is the first residential project in Australia that will have Well 2 certification, which is an international benchmark to promote the healthier connection between the built environment, the people and the communities. So part of that is the cross ventilation, is the light coming into the apartments to make sure that the feeling that you get in there is quite special and environmentally sustainable. So, and there's a number of other features that have been included in the Frederick as well. I think I also pointed out in the prezzo that one of the key items for us also is the fact that Green Square as a town centre is a 6-star Green Star community, and that's a rating which takes into account not only the environmental aspect but also the social and the community considerations. So very excited about being able to deliver those environmental and sustainability initiatives in the Frederick. Kath, the next one is a little bit about the views. So does it have unrestricted views, and if yes, from which level?
Okay, so the Frederick spans 23 stories, so many of the residents have amazing views in each direction. I actually just saw the draft view book last week, and the views from majority of apartments are simply spectacular. Again, you probably get best to get more information from your sales consultant when you come into our display gallery. You can have a look at the view book, which will show you the views from each level and each apartment, which will be very helpful to work through that.
Great. Yeah, I've seen those view books as well, and they do look pretty stunning when you get up to the levels above level 12 towards the city. So fantastic. And as Kath said, talk to the sales consultants. The next question I'll answer. The question is, how is the project different from other apartments built in Zetland? I think there's probably 3 or 4 items there to really push or to talk about, and one is the Mirvac brand. Obviously, that is a really important differentiator, and the way that Zach talked about making sure you have trust in the developer, but also the builder that's actually delivering your building. The second one is the luxury level, really pushing the luxe hotel living and the finishes that Lisa outlined. Fantastic benchmark of luxury finishes in this area. I don't think it'll be beyond compare to anything around. I think also its location being directly opposite Drying Green is actually a really great spot in the town centre. And I think also lastly is probably the residents only amenity, which is the Sky Lounge, the Business Lounge, the Wellness Lounge, which are all inclusions for the Frederick and the Portman collection. So exciting. William, this one is for you, and I'm sorry I've probably taken some of those items already, but what facilities will be included in the complex?
The Frederick really offers that total luxe experience at home. It's a place that we hope you'll never want to leave. But residents will have access to world-class facilities, including the Wellness Lounge, the Business Lounge, a landscape podium with barbecue facilities, and the exclusive Sky Lounge located on level 23. And as far as club spaces go, that'll be amongst the best around. Also, there's a lot of amenity on the doorstep of the Frederick, including the newly opened aquatic centre, the Drying Green, which is nearing completion, the future primary school, Green Square Plaza and library, and also, of course, the Green Square railway station.
Great. That's actually a really good segue into the next question, which is, what are the transport options that we've got around the Frederick? So as William just touched on, the train station's only about 300 metres away, and that is actually a link straight into the CBD and also out to the domestic and international airports. And it's a great way to travel. Walk down, pick up your coffee on the way through, and get on the train into town. I think when I travel out from the city out to Green Square, it takes me about 10 minutes to go from Wynyard all the way out to Green Square. So really it's just a skip and a hop away. And then also on the way back, not only your coffee in the morning, but actually picking up dinner on the way back from the many eateries that are around there. So that's the major public transport. There's also bus services that'll actually link into the eastern suburbs, but also up and down the southeast corridor. And of course, if you like exercise, there's the bike networks, which are actually throughout the city and connect all the way through to Green Square. So they kind of finish off what the different transport options are. Kath, the next question's about the exchange. So the question is, what deposit is required on exchange? So I'll hand that over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Toby. So if you do purchase at our VIP release on the 4th and 5th of December, a 10% deposit will be required to be paid within 2 weeks from exchange, with the balance of the balance of monies due at settlement when we hand over the keys.
Great. Seems like there's a lot of questions that I'll be answering here, but the next one's about schools, and I think we've talked a little bit about the school that's coming, the innovative new school, which is really, it's only about 50 to 100 metres away from the Frederick, which is fantastic. But there's a number of other schools that are already up and running in the area. So there's the Gardeners Road Public School, there's St Therese Catholic School, Burke Street Public, Alexandria Park Community School, and Burke Street Senior School. So there's also the two prestigious selective schools, which is Sydney Girls High and Sydney Boys High, not too far away. And it's not only the schools in the catchment area, it's also the link that we're going to have via the station and the bus networks into the three major universities, being New South Uni, Sydney Uni, and also UTS in the city. So, and of course, on top of that, you've got the station there, which can link you into a number of other schools through the CBD or through any of the other railway networks. So I suppose the answer to that is there's a number of schools in the area and it's well serviced. So, Zach, a question for you. Have all the DAs been approved?
Yeah, Tobe, thanks. That's an easy one, fortunately. We have received all of our development approvals, so hence why we're powering on with construction.
Yeah, and it's actually a great step forward. We've got construction underway and we really are moving quite quickly. Zach and his team are well in the way to getting the formwork up and getting the first couple of levels of slabs being poured. So exciting times for us. Kath, this is one for you around parking spaces. How many parking spaces will each apartment get?
Thanks, Toby. So, well, the majority of 2 bedrooms will receive 1 car space, and all 3 bedrooms will also receive 1 car space. Penthouses will receive 2 parking spaces. There are a handful of additional parking spaces for sale. However, at this stage, we're going to be limiting them for purchase only with a 3-bedroom. In addition, each apartment will also be given a lock-up storage compartment located in the basement.
Great. Thanks, Kath. William, there's another one that's come through that I'll throw to you, and it's how did smart design and the architects achieve natural ventilation?
Yeah, thanks, Toby. The apartments achieve natural ventilation through large balconies that generally open onto expansive living spaces and bedrooms. And about 2/3 of the apartments have dual aspect, which encourages cross ventilation through the apartment.
Thanks, William. I think the layout that the smart designs come up with is quite amazing, where you do get those curved end of the apartments, which actually give you great ability to get that cross ventilation coming through. So it's pretty exciting. Kath, this one's for you. If I do not want to visit the display gallery, can I still get an appointment and secure my space during the RTP process?
Yes, we are very happy to arrange an appointment and a virtual tour of the display gallery, and there is nothing at all to stop you securing an appointment in the registration to purchase. If you don't want to attend the sales day in person, our sales team can also instruct you on how to go through the entire process online.
Great. That's a good way of being able to include everybody. There's another question here which I'll answer again. Is there any retail plan for the development? So at Mirvac, we know that actually the ground plane is an incredibly important part of any development. So we've actually been involved in curating all the different shops and all the different retail that is there. So there's already some up and running, but there's a whole list of new shops and new retail that's being planned under each of the buildings. So we're pretty excited about how that's actually evolving and how the community is actually engaging with what we've actually delivered already, but what is actually to come. Okay, Kath, I think there's one more question. It seems like you're the one that has most of the questions been pointed to. So I'll ask you this last one. Can you provide more information on strata levies, council rates, water rates, and land tax estimates?
Sure. Yes, we can. So the estimates for all levies and rates have been received. Again, I'm going to say it's best you speak to your sales consultant for this information because they vary depending on which apartment you're interested in. So, yeah, we've got all that information. It's best to speak to a sales consultant.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And probably if we haven't answered any of your questions this morning, I think Kath's point there is quite right. The sales consultants have all the information, so please actually direct those queries or questions to them, and we'll endeavour to get the answers for you. So look, that brings us to the end of our presentations this morning. We thank you all for joining us, and we hope you've enjoyed hearing about what we're very passionate about, which is this very special building, and we very look forward to seeing you in our display gallery shortly. So thank you all. Have an enjoyable weekend and enjoy the world of freedom. So thank you.